The black car rolled to the stop, its tires crunching the gravel driveway that curved like a serpent in front of the enormous mansion. You stared out the window, eyes wide. The place looked like a haunted palace from a horror movie. The mansion was towering, cold, and covered in a creepy way. A chilly wind blew, rusting the tall pine trees surrounding the estate. The whole area was isolated in a forest, far, far away from the noisy soul you were used to. Welcome home, Mr. John. Jungkook's deep voice said calmly as he opened the door for you. Stepping out first, you looked at him, shivering slightly. He wore black from head to toe, a long coat, boots, and gloves. Home, he whispered, stepping out cautiously. This palace looked like a Dracula's vacation house. He chuckled faintly but didn't deny it. I grew up here, he said, taking your hand gently. It's different, but you will get used to it. Used to it, you glanced at the towering black gates slowly shutting behind you. An eerie creak. Jungkook, did the bird just curse at me? You whispered, horrified. He smirked, probably welcoming you. The front door opened with a loud echo. A tall, stiff housekeeper with her grey hair stood silent at the entrance. Ma'am, she said, bowing, Master Jungkook. Madam, you swallow it. That's what he called his mother. Quite elegant woman who never smiled much during her wedding. You only met her once. She was beautiful, but there was something cold in her eyes, like she knew every secret and wouldn't tell a soul. There was a sainted with a whole food roses and something metallic. The walls were high and decorated with ancient paintings that seemed to watch you as you passed. Although see her ancestor, he was softly. They are there, don't worry, they don't bite. You blink. You think you're funny, but you are not. He squeezed your hand and then let go as his mother appeared at the top of the grand staircase. Welcome, she said with her usual distant grace. I see, Soul hasn't turned you into a stranger's son. It hasn't, Jungkook replied, bowing respectfully. Mrs. John, so you have brought your bride into the forest. You tried to smile. Hello, Mom. She got you off with a nod. Mrs. John, I have prepared your room. You will be in the east wing. Jungkook's childhood room has been cleaned. You stood in your shared room, huge, dark, filled with antique furniture and one massive bed with the black velvet covers. I feel like I'm going to be possessed tonight. You muttered, hugging yourself as I looked at a creepy doll sitting on a dusty shelf. I forget about her, Jungkook said casually. She was my mom's favorite. Wine staring at me, Jungkook. She has glasses eyes. Please put her outside. He walked over to pick up the doll and opened the door to the hallway. Right then, a loud bang echoed through the mansion, like a door slamming on its own. You screamed and grabbed Jungkook's arm. It's just a wind, he said, but even he paused, listening. No wind sounded like someone coughed muttered. You hissed. He chuckled and shut the door, pressing the doll outside. You're scared already? He asked, walking toward you slowly, his tone playful. I have a right to be. This mansion is basically a gothic horror novel. Then you should stay close to me, he said, concerning, hand gently against the bedpost. Your heart pounding, but not for fear this time. He leaned closer. Afraid I will turn into a vampire at night? When you do have suspiciously good skin, he laughed and pressed a light kiss on your forehead. Go change, it's cold. You were about to go to the bathroom when you opened the door and nearly fainted. There was a mirror right opposite, and for a second it looked like a woman in a white stood behind you. You screamed. Jungkook came running and saw nothing. It's your reflection. Don't even try. That was not me. Maybe it was a ghost welcoming you. She is probably thinking you are prettier than the last guest. Your snap is just weakly. Well, don't joke, I will cry. Midnight. The mansion was quiet, too quiet you couldn't sleep. Jungkook was beside you, sleeping peacefully, shirtless under the covers like some Greek sculpture. You tossed and turned, hugging the pillow. Suddenly you heard a footstep in the hallway, slowly soft, dragging you sat up in a bed. Jungkook, you whispered. He didn't wake up, but suddenly the sound of footsteps grew louder. You screamed and jumped onto Jungkook, shaking him like your love depended on it. There's a ghost trying to open that door. You shouted, he ground, pulling you into his arm. There is no ghost, it's just a workers or my mom walking around. Why your mom is walking like she is from the ring? He pulled the covers over you both and held you tight. Fine, you can stay in my arms if that helps you to feel brave. You blinked up at him. You will protect me? He nodded slowly, smirking from everything except the doll she is on your side. You guessed, I will haunt you if I die first. He laughed and low deep and pulled you closer. Morning light filters sweetly through the thick velvet curtains. You wake up wrapped in Jungkook's arm, groaning. This is morning? Is it still dark? Sloppy voice because this morning is allergic to sunlight. It's colder than grades in my high school, smirking. Maybe that's why you are snuggling into me like a cola. Freckles is worried. You are my personal heater. Now shut up and let me. Pretend hard a baby. You're stuck here for a whole month. A month? My mom said so. She wants us to adjust. I can't adjust with ghost. I barely survived one night. It wasn't me that Miller had issued and I saw a floating lady. Yes, I know you have offered her your blanket. She looked cold, okay? You both chuckle. Jungkook scratches myself, flexing as he gets out of the bed, covering your eyes. Hey, put a shirt on. You have seen me shirtless 100 times here, but never inside a horror movie set, grabbing a towel. I'm going to shower. Try not to die from a ghost sightings while I'm gone. If I do, I will haunt you and flick your ears forever. He laughs and walks into the bathroom. You sat in a bed, curled in a blanket, scrolling your phone. But there is no signal. To yourself, great, no internet, this place is really accursed. Suddenly you hear a loud crash inside the bathroom, shouting, Jungkook, are you okay? From inside, yeah, I just stopped, damn it. Never mind, nervous, don't scare me like that. You get up, walking toward the bathroom, the door is slightly open, steam stepping out, you knock. Do you need anything? Inside, yeah, can you pass me my shirt? I forgot to bring it. Okay, wait. You grab his black shirt from the bed and peek inside the door, holding it out without looking, but you slip a little hand towel hanging near the door. 8 slips. Hey. Gaps, oh my god, I didn't mean to. The towel falls and you didn't even see anything because you immediately cover your face and scream. I didn't see, I swear I didn't see. I'm blind now. Crowning, grabbing the second towel quickly. Yeah, why did you come in like a detective? I was trying to help. You dropped stuff. I thought you fall. Crowning and laughing, you pull the towel like it was your final mission. Still covering face. I swear I didn't look, but towels waiting. I'm promised. Or blessed. I'm confused. You didn't even look. That hurts a little. Shut up. I'm respectful wife. He opens the door. Hair wet, cold towel secure around his waist. Face still red. You walk side by side down the silent hallway, passing portraits that seem to follow you every move. You swore one of them blinked. The dining table room was something out of Gothic novel. A long table stretched across the room, covered in a silver dishes that reflect a dim chandelier light like a moonlight on water. Dressed in a high-collared black dress with her hair is neat and low and lips crimson red, she looked like she hadn't aged in years or maybe decades. Maybe she was statue proud to her life, her eyes flickered to you. Good morning, mother. Jungkook said, going light. She nodded once, then her eyes shifted to you. You smiled politely and bowed slightly. Good morning, mom. Her eyes lingered. Mr. John, you look cold. Yeah, it's Miss Jelly. Mrs. John, you will get used to it, she said, sipping tea. If she hadn't just spoken like an ancient villain from a fantasy drama. You sat beside Jungkook, try not to flinch at every sound. The forks clinked, the meats footsteps were too soft. Even the teapot screamed haunted. You were halfway through your pancakes when a scream rang out from the kitchen. You and Jungkook froze. Madame Jeon didn't even blink. Second later, her maid rushed in, pale and trembling. Madame, the fridge. You frowned. The fridge? The fridge again? Jungkook sighed. You turned to him. What's wrong with the fridge? Before he could answer, Madame Jeon stood up gracefully and gestured to the maid. Show them. You followed the maid down the hallway to the massive vintage kitchen. The fridge was ancient, one of those 1960s model with a heavy door and steel handles. The kind that could hide secrets or bodies. No, not just any baby doll. It was a ball, dirty, and had one blinking eye. Worse, it was moving. You jumped back so fast you hit Jungkook in the chest. Why is there a haunted baby doll in the fridge? You shrieked. The maid, her net wasn't here last night. The maid cried. The doll plastic can lifted as if waving at you. Oh, hello, you whispered, backing away. Jungkook pinched the bridge of his nose. It's probably Minji. Who is Minji? Hardcook's daughter. She plays pranks when she is bored. A faint giggle came from under the table. A child crawled out, waving a smoky paper mask and holding a second doll and remote. You two are funny, she grinned, looking at you. Want to see what I put in the attic? You stared at her into the horror. Jungkook looked amazed. No, thank you, Minji. You scared someone else. He said, Jyoti. She pouted and skipped away. Her dogs bouncing in her arms. You slammed onto her door and shaking. I hate this house. Jungkook leaned closer, whispering in your ear, but I love seeing you this scared. You get clingy. You smacked his arm. I'm not clingy. I'm just staying alive. He grinned. Same thing. Later back in your room, you throw yourself under the bed, your heart hurt from a ghost doll. Breakfast silence and Jungkook's mom staring at your sofa, but somewhere in the house, it felt weirdly nice, romantic in a twisted, terrifying way, like you weren't just newlyweds, you were survivors, partners in a haunted cursed honeymoon. As you buried your face into the pillows, Jungkook flopped beside you. Someone is watching you from under the table. You scream into the pillow. 2 days later, you ground softly and slipped out of the bed, glancing at Jungkook, who was still knocked out cold. His hand swiveled against the pillow like a prince in a gothic fairy tale, peacefully, sinfully gorgeous. Grabbing a bath towel, you tiptoed into the bathroom after a warm shower that melted the forced bite in your bones. You wrapped the towel lightly. He was awake and he was walking toward the wardrobe, shirtless, scratching his neck like a sleepy lion. Your eyes widened. You hadn't expected him to be yet. He always slept late, always. You clutched your towel tighter, cheeks sitting, waiting. Yet wait while you saw him. The world paused. He blinked, looking at you. Your red hair bar shouldered on the towel, clutching like you depend on it.
Jungkook, M morning, he murmured groggily, voice deep and laced with sleep. YN, morning. You squeaked, stepping toward your side of the closet to grab your clothes. You didn't notice that as you passed Jungkook. The corner of your towel quietly caught on the hook where his hoodie was hanging. Jungkook reached out to grab his hoodie at the same time, and that's when it happened. You turned your back to change, completely unaware. Then asterisk rip. Asterisk you froze. The soft cotton slipped down your body like a traitor. Your towel had fallen, and you were completely bare. Every molecule in your body froze. The soft thud of your towel hitting the floor felt louder than a bomb. Jungkook turned instinctively at the sound, but before his eyes could land on your bare body, you leapt forward and threw your arms around him, pressing yourself tightly against his chest. It was faster than grabbing the fallen towel. Desperate, instinctive. His body stiffened like a statue, his heart about to explode.
You followed the maid down the hallway to the massive vintage kitchen. The fridge was ancient, one of those 1960s model with a heavy door and steel handles. The kind that could hide secrets or bodies. No, not just any baby doll. It was a ball, dirty, and had one blinking eye. Worse, it was moving. You jumped back so fast you hit Jungkook in the chest. Why is there a haunted baby doll in the fridge? You shrieked. The maid, her net wasn't here last night. The maid cried. The doll plastic can lifted as if waving at you. Oh, hello, you whispered, backing away. Jungkook pinched the bridge of his nose. It's probably Minji. Who is Minji? Hardcook's daughter. She plays pranks when she is bored. A faint giggle came from under the table. A child crawled out, waving a smoky paper mask and holding a second doll and remote. You two are funny, she grinned, looking at you. Want to see what I put in the attic? You stared at her into the horror. Jungkook looked amazed. No, thank you, Minji. You scared someone else. He said, Jyoti. She pouted and skipped away. Her dogs bouncing in her arms. You slammed onto her door and shaking. I hate this house. Jungkook leaned closer, whispering in your ear, but I love seeing you this scared. You get clingy. You smacked his arm. I'm not clingy. I'm just staying alive. He grinned. Same thing. Later, back in your room, you throw yourself under the bed, your heart hurt from a ghost doll. Breakfast silence and Jungkook's mom staring at your soap, but somewhere in the house, it felt weirdly nice, romantic in a twisted, terrifying way, like you weren't just newlyweds, you were survivors, partners in a haunted cursed honeymoon. As you buried your face into the pillows, Jungkook flopped beside you. Someone is watching you from under the table, you scream into the pillow. 2 days later, you ground softly and slipped out of the bed, glancing at Jungkook, who was still knocked out cold. His hand swiveled against a pillow like a prince in a gothic fairy tale, peacefully, sinfully gorgeous. Grabbing a bath towel, you tiptoed into the bathroom after a warm shower that melted the forced bite in your bones. You wrapped the towel lightly. He was awake and he was walking toward the wardrobe shirtless, scratching his neck like a sleepy lion. Your eyes widened. You hadn't expected him to be yet. He always slept late, always. You clutched your towel tighter, cheeks sitting, waiting. Yet wait while you saw him. The world paused. He blinked, looking at you. Your red hair, bar shoulder on the towel, clutching like you depend on it. You followed the maid down the hallway to the massive vintage kitchen. The fridge was ancient, one of those 1960s model with a heavy door and steel handles. The kind that could hide secrets or bodies. No, not just any baby doll. It was a ball, dirty and had one blinking eye. Worse, it was moving. You jumped back so fast you hit Jungkook in the chest. Why is there a haunted baby doll in the fridge? You shrieked. Maid, hun, it wasn't here last night. The maid cried. The doll plastic hand lifted as if waving at you. Oh, hell no, you whispered, backing away. Jungkook pinched the bridge of his nose. It's probably Minji. Who is Minji? Hardcook's daughter. She plays pranks when she is bored. A faint giggle came from under the table. A child crawled out, waving a smoky paper mask and holding a second doll and remote. You two are funny, she grinned, looking at you. Want to see what I put in the attic? You stared at her into the horror. Jungkook looked amazed. No, thank you, Minji. You scared someone else. He said, Jyoti. She pouted and skipped away. Her dog bouncing in her arms. You slumped onto her stool and shaking. I hate this house. Jungkook leaned closer, whispering in your ear, but I love seeing you this scared. You get clingy. You smacked his arm. I'm not clingy. I'm just staying alive. He grinned. Same thing. Later, back in your room, you throw yourself under the bed, your heart hurt from a ghost doll. Breakfast silence and Jungkook's mom staring at your soap, but somewhere in the house, it felt weirdly nice, romantic in a twisted, terrifying way, like you weren't just newlyweds, you were survivors, partners in a haunted cursed honeymoon. As you buried your face into the pillows, Jungkook flopped beside you. Someone is watching you from under the table. You scream into the pillow. 2 days later, your ground